What up? YouTube, YouTube, YouTube. Alright. I received a message or comment today on one of our YouTube videos, and it was asking about producer's block. Do we all get it? Yeah, we do. I get it too. It's nothing new. I will say this. I hope that the people I consult don't get upset because I'm giving information I usually charge for. Meaning I do consulting, and well, one of my free clients is my cousin. I mean, I've consulted him, and I just believe you don't have to be the best producer to coach or consult someone and help them achieve, be motivated, and make better music. It's like being a coach, so that's what I do. I like to consider myself a life coach, but my specialty is in production and beat making, just to help you break those barriers. So this is like a free session, so enjoy it. Producer's block. How do you overcome it? And one of the specific things he came up with involved drums, drum patterns, and it seems like he said I make a beat and my melody's on point, but it seemed like I'm using the same boom bap drum pattern or the same boom bap drums in it, you know, and I'm having a hard time making different patterns. So you get locked, you get stuck. We all reach a plateau at some point, or we all do something that makes us feel like, man, I can't get it in. Yes, you can. It's just that when you're in a frame of mind and you're doing the same thing, you're in that same groove, you just need something to take yourself off that plane, out of that area, or as we say, think outside the box. So basically, you want to do something different, and sometimes you feel like you're doing something different, but technically you're not. We are creatures by habit. We love to stay in our comfort zone, and sometimes we'll do something a little different, but with the same attitude and approach. So let me explain that. You may do something different, but if you carry the same attitude and approach to it, it's almost like doing the same thing. Meaning you're doing something different, but approaching it with the same view. So therefore, you're bringing the same luggage with it. Meaning the same thing that got you stuck in one thing will get you stuck in the next, because you bring the same mentality with it. We do this to grow. And I also had a comment in there saying that we don't need to stick with the times. We just need to not lose our own sound. And as crazy as it may sound, I agree with that to a large degree. We do need to be current, but you need to be the current version of yourself. Alright? Meaning you need to find yourself, find your sound, and expand and make it relevant to what's going on now. But be yourself. So as confusing or as crazy as it may sound, hopefully a lot of y'all are getting it. And all that means is the easiest way to do it is expansion. You need to expand. So you may start off like this, and we have a large capacity of volume of learning and achieving things. So if you're this, it can get bigger, it can get bigger, it can get bigger, and it can expand. Think of it as a balloon, infinite balloon that can just keep getting bigger and bigger. And that's all you're trying to do. You're just trying to expand. You're just trying to take it a little further. So sometimes you need to throw yourself into things that make you uncomfortable to achieve greater things. So when you make your beat, you get in, you in your swing, you in your groove, everything like, yeah, now what do I do? Oh, I need this. Bam. You may get stuck on a part, you may leave it alone, come back, like, yeah. But you're flowing in your comfort zone. This is what you do. You know this. Millionaires are minorities. A lot of our star athletes, key producers, top producers, we look at them as minorities because they are. I mean, they're the ones that kind of set the tone, and they're the ones that got the spotlight. The majority of us are looking at them, aspiring to be. The reason they're minorities because one thing they do that the average person does not do is they face their fears, or they face the things, the discomfort things, or they face the things that make them feel uncomfortable, or the things that they don't like so much. They do it. I always tell people, if you want to be a millionaire, you want to make a lot of money, you want to be successful, find a problem and fix it. We run from problems when we should be running to problems. Those who run to problems and find solutions make money. That's just all it's ever been. Anything we have great is from somebody finding a problem and making a solution. So, how do you get out of beat block? So let's address my man first because his was very detailed. I don't know what your process is, but let's talk about process. Sometimes I'll lay down a beat and I'll chop the sample up with a bass beat. But 98% of the time, 99% of the time, even though I may start off with a beat and then I chop my sample or play my melody over that beat, once I got the melody, the chops and everything perfected, I erase the beat, meaning the drums, because the drums need to complement the music. Everybody say the drums are the foundation. Yes, the drums are the foundation, but if you do your drums first, now you find yourself trying to cater the melody or the sample to the drums. But if you know how the sample needs to go, sometimes you need the drum as a bass to get that rhythm and timing, and sometimes you need a little bit more than the metronome. I get it. I do that too. I get my chops down, I get everything right, and I'm not making a complex beat, because if I make the beat complex, intricate, or crazy, it's going to affect how I play the sample and the melody or whatever it is to that drum pattern. So the drum pattern could be boom, bap, or boom, bap, ba-boom, bap, boom, bap, ba-boom, bap. Now I'll get my stuff down. Boom. Now everything is done and I got the sample and I'm listening to the melody. The melody may call for something else. Boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. So, listen to your melodies. Listen to your rhythms. Listen to your bass line. And your drums should complement the bass too. So, listen to all these elements, and then, so if you need to have a bass beat to start off, by all means do that. But after that, erase the beat. Then, make the beat cater the melody. And sometimes what you may find yourself doing, I like to do the patterns, the kick and the snare, and play it live. But sometimes what I found myself having to do to complement my production better is, once I got all that stuff down, as I said before, erase the beat. Now I'm doing the hi-hats. Now I'm adding the snare. Now I'm adding the kick. Now I'm adding maybe a shaker, a cymbal, maybe some bongos, congos, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some claps. Whatever it is I think will spice that beat up. It's like making food. Sometimes you could use a little dash of sugar. I think a little dash of salt. Let me see, little pepper. That's bringing it to life. Okay, that pepper, maybe a little bit more pepper. You just taking it in steps, it's like cooking. So you add these ingredients, seeing how it affects it. Not oversaturating it. You want to see how it works first. Then if it's not working, you can, you don't have to put no more in it, or you can take it out. All right. So if you're doing your drums first, start doing bass beats, make your melody, erase the drums, then do the drums after you got the core melody and bass and all that other stuff down. Then make the drums complement that. Now, us sample producers, we can be some hypocrites. Man, can we be hypocrites? Guilty as charged. I lay my own drum patterns. I don't use drum breaks. Or I don't do this. I only sample from vinyl. I don't sample from YouTube. Or I don't use construction kits. That's cheating. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. let's look at this realistically. Our culture was started from a lack of. Let me put that again. Our culture and music was created due to a lack of instruments, lack of resources. So we took what we had and did the best we could with it. That's how hip hop was born. We're inspired. We had drums. I don't know how to play the guitar, so what can I do? I'll take a drum break. I'll take a bass loop. I'll chop it up. I'll do this. I do that. A lot of your early hip hop songs were loops, melodies from hit songs, looped over with different drum patterns and stuff like that. So that's all it is. So is using a construction kit cheating? Hell no, nothing's cheating. Because when we did this, we like, look, we're gonna make music no matter what it takes. If we had to sample this, we had to sample that. If we had to take a piece from here, we had to take a piece from there. If I had to take my mother yelling, the baby crying, if the door make a unique sound that I think would sound the beat, or a basketball hitting the floor, whatever, we took what we needed to be creative and make music. So everything, as far as I'm concerned, is fair game. Now, of course, if you're trying to make an original composition, or you're trying to make a composition for a placement, and samples can't be used, just use that stuff as an inspiration and have it either replayed or go through the necessary legalities that you have to go through for interpolation or to clear the sample. But if you take a sample and make original melody, have it replayed, because it doesn't sound like the original anyway. Alright? So hopefully I'm not going too off course here, but the whole thing is, when you get in these ruts and you get blocked, it's either because you fell into a pattern, and you may say, well, that's how I do my beats. Well, if you run into blocks, then maybe you need to do something different. And maybe that is how you do your beats, but to explore another avenue could bring a little bit something extra to your beats and take it to another level. So one of the things we do is we fall into a pattern. 2, we try to force it. It's not natural. We feel like we should make beats. We got the feeling we want to make a beat, but the groove ain't there. You ain't in it. Maybe a little tired. There's been times I sat down here, I was like, amped, I wanted to make a beat, and within 2 minutes, I done yawned 15 times. I'm not gonna make no heat like that. Shut the music off, took my ass to bed. It is what it is. So sometimes our energy, our heart wants to do it, but other circumstances doesn't allow us. So make sure, if you're tired, get the rest. You need to clear your head. You need to go to sleep. You need to do that. Another thing is, breathe. What do I mean by breathe? I'm on a beat. I got everything going. Everything is working for me. I hit a point where maybe the bass line ain't quite right. Something ain't doing. And now I feel like I'm forcing this track. Breathe. Take a moment. Breathe. Count to 10. Step away. Watch a movie, play a video game, and come back to it. I guarantee you, when you come back to it for fresh mind, fresh approach, it comes out dope. So, if you working on something that's coming together well, and you reach that point, you got the idea from out of here into here, but you reach the point where you can't take it any further, but you know it needs more, it may be time to walk away from it. Breathe. Come back to it and do it again. Get back on it. Fresh mind, fresh ideas. Your brain has some time to relax. Now you can do it. How many times have you made a beat that was nice? You're like, yes, this is the joint. For whatever reason, it didn't save. Something got cut out. Or when you go to load it up, some certain sounds are not there. You're like, what happened? It was dope. And typically it happens when you want somebody to hear it, so things are missing. How many times have you done that? The beat was so dope, you know you had to remake it again. So you go back into remaking it, and what you do after the fact is better than what you did in the first place. I know you feel me. So, people, it's music, it's love, it's not to be forced, it's a part of us, it's spiritual. It's like I will make no wine before it's time. Everything needs to take its course, and you need to be patient with it. You know, I mean, we in a microwave age, we want everything instantly. But I tell you what tastes better? A home cooked meal or a microwaved meal? And if you say a microwave meal, something's wrong with you. You're acclimated to this instant now society we are in. I need it now. if a home cooked meal tastes worse than a microwave meal, this video ain't for you. So if a home cooked meal tastes better, it's because you took time, took more into it, more care went into it, more thought went into it, more love went into it. So, as a producer, we do come upon things, but sometimes the music, you know, let me correct one thing. If you're making industry music, if you're being industrious with your music, I mean like a conveyor belt and an assembly line, and you're making tracks and rolling hi-hats and this, that, the other, it's got to have this, it's got to have that. Oh, you can make those all day. You shouldn't be in a producer's block. But if you're making something that you want, that you making something that touches you, which in turn will touch others, then that takes time. Don't rush it, and it's almost like making a living thing. Because if you make a song that erupts in emotion, if you make a beat, a song, and it touches me, it makes me think about the past, the future, it gets me excited, it gets me feeling any type of emotion, you created, in my opinion, a live thing almost. That means because you put so much of yourself into it, I can feel emotion. And to make that music, you can't just do that instantly. It takes time. And you gotta let the music dictate where it needs to go. And sometimes the music will stop you, say, hey, that's enough. Let's continue tomorrow. Hey, that's enough. Nothing else need to be added. Or hey, hold up. We not done yet. It's a little bit more need to be added to this so it could come off right. Because somebody's life or somebody's inspiration depends on it. Listen to the music. Listen to the music. Alright. Now, there are times where you hit the studio. I'm giving a lot of free advice. Oh man, I generally charge for this, but it's whatever. Now, I told my boy Reggie, and, you know, he's another one of my guys I've inspired and I coached throughout the years. And I told him, I said, man, you're a producer. When you go in the lab, your job, you should be on your craft every day. A little bit of your craft every day. Some portion of your craft you should be doing every day. That doesn't mean every day you need to be making beats. And some people say, well, dang, if you ain't making beats every day, you ain't getting better. It's more to it than just the act. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you're a football player, you're trying to get better, you're not playing the game every day. Even in practice, they're not playing the game. They're doing portions of the game. They'll work on a play, right? They'll work on a play. They'll work on a movement. They'll work on this. They work on, what am I trying to say? You know, the mechanics. So if you get your mechanics right, so when the action is right, when you get into action, you're more effective because your mechanics are right. Correct? Am I wrong? So you don't need to be making beats every day. And whoever tells you that you need to be making beats to be the best, I disagree with them. I disagree. Because some days you may need to get your arsenal right. You may need to get your equipment together. Meaning you may need to get your drums, your sounds, and your stuff in order. Now, and so if you can't make beats, I'm sampling drums. I'm sampling melodies. I'm sampling snippets. I'm sampling sounds that inspire me. And sometimes those sounds will inspire me enough to make a beat. But a lot of times I'm gathering these things. So when that time comes and I need that one extra sound, I may actually have it from that day that I put in some work. So if you're going to put 2 hours a day into your music, and if those 2 hours aren't making beats, it should be doing sounds. It should be practicing chords. If you're a musician, it should be practicing chops. It should be doing this. Because a lot of times y'all seen videos where I'm just doing my chop exercises. That's just for me to get rhythm and pattern and stuff like that on the thing. Because sometimes you'll listen to sounds and you're like, this ain't coming out right. And sometimes just by instinctively being able to get into a rhythm, you can take something that sounds like nothing and make it into something. But this only comes from me just exercising and practicing on the pads. Just mess around with patterns. Maybe you need to get your finger drumming tight. Maybe work on that a little better. Maybe you want to work on how your drums are laid out. I lay my drums out the same. Some people like do it differently every time. To each his own. But there's no reason that when you go in that studio, you shouldn't be getting busy doing something. Maybe you need to go back, listen to some old beats, listen to the drums. You may need to be switching out a snare. You may need to be needing to switch out a bass line. You may go back and say, I like this beat. The only thing I didn't like was the bass line. Go back, listen to those old beats. Now, is this part of your craft? Listen to other producers. Listen to what's been done and listening to the intricacies of how they did their production. Not to copy them, but to learn technique. I love construction kits because now I get to dissect the whole track. Because the beauty of a construction kit is they'll give you a whole production. You're like, oh man, that sound ill. Granted, I ain't going to just take the whole construction kit, put it out there like it's my own beat, because that's just a straight lie. But the cool thing about construction kits is when you listen to this whole performance together, he's like, oh man, this is great. Now you get to listen to the whole thing together. You get to listen to the mix. You know what? That violin sound, those strings weren't as loud as they are when I do my string. Maybe I need to lower the strings. So you get to get an idea of the mix on how loud certain instruments are in relation to others. You get to see how it was put together. Sometimes you can hear a little instrument that makes no sense to you, but when you hear it in the whole track, you hear how they use this little thing to spice up the track to give it what it needs. You can actually take that full-blown track and mute stuff one by one just to see how it affects the mood, the tempo, and the impact of that track, which will teach you how to layer your tracks together. What should be louder, what should be lower, or how to experiment with things. So, producer's block. There's no such thing as a producer's block. A beat block? Maybe so. And sometimes a beat block is needed because maybe you shouldn't be making beats. Maybe it's another part of your craft you should be honing at that time. You know, because sometimes we lean on to the things that we like to do the most, and sometimes we don't spend enough time strengthening our weaknesses. So, just a little food for thought. Alright, I'm Overlord, aka, boom bap beat maker, and also a life coach. You need my services, call on me. I'll inspire you to be greater. Alright? The fees aren't that expensive. This was free. Alright? Thanks so much. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for all the support from everybody. And see you next time. I'm going to be making some beats on the next video. Peace.